In this chapter today, I am going to discuss about how to call a web API using Angular. So for this, you can watch this image now. So here it is a app module, root module, and inside and it has one component, root component, app component. So inside the app component, I will call a API, web API. Okay, I'll show what is that web API. Yeah, this is the web API, and the purpose of the web API is to find the country which the name belongs. Suppose I will type here Kailas and enter. So it is saying that Kailas belongs to country MU. So let's see what is the country MU. So yes, it is saying that Mauritius. So in Mauritius there are persons with name Kailas, and also in country India. So in India and Mauritius you will find the name Kailas. So same thing we will find it. Suppose we will go for another example. I will write here John. So it will say that in US, in IM which country it is? IM. This is a country, Isle of Man here, and also in IE. What is the IE? Yeah, maybe some countries here. We will not go to that much deep, so we will just use to retrieve this web API data from this web API using Angular. So then what we have to do means how we are going to write the code so that we can get the data. We will input John and we will get this data, the country ID. So here we will see. So we have an app module and we have an app component. So what we are doing, we are importing HTTP client module in app module. This is the first step, and second, we are importing HTTP client in app component. This is the main part. So this part will require when we are going to call a web API. So both are belongs to Angular framework. HTTP client module and HTTP client both belongs to Angular framework, and HTTP client module will be imported by app module. HTTP client will be imported by app component. Yeah, so you can now see the code here. So in app module.ts, we are going to import HTTP client module from Angular/common/HTTP, and after importing from the particular location, we are importing, we are using the imports part here. Again we are writing this HTTP client module. Okay, so this ng module now required HTTP client module for calling a web API, and then we have to do another thing in app.component.ts. This is the app component.ts. So what we are doing here, we are importing HTTP client from Angular common HTTP and in the constructor we are creating a constructor so that we can inject this module here, so that we can index. This is service, HTTP service. Okay, this is called HTTP service in Angular to call a web API. So we are creating a, this is a variable and this is the class, this is the object, this is the class, and this is a private object. So this is the injection. So this is called dependency injection. So we are using the dependency injection through the constructor. So we are injecting HTTP client service, HTTP service. Okay, then once we inject the service, we can use it in the on init means just like this is a form load. So whenever you are opening the page in Angular, it will be run by default because it is in on init. For that we are implementing on init. So if you remove this, we cannot use on init. So what we are doing here, I just use the variable URL is equal to this. Okay, I write here whatever I have written in the URL there. So you see here, whatever I have written here, I just copied here and I paste it here. Okay. So I paste it here. So this is a string. Whatever I copied it in the web URL or browser. So it is here. So again, this 3 line is the syntax. Okay. So what it is saying, this dot HTTP client. This means HTTP client is a private attribute, private property of this class, app component class. So this means object of app component. So this dot HTTP client dot get URL means this one. Whatever we are, this is the web API URL of the web API. Then subscribe dot subscribe. Then this is the code response within bracket. Then this is the symbol and we are alerting JSON stringify response. Okay, this much code we have to write. Even if we are not using the first line, we can directly copy it here. This line I can directly copy it here. Okay. Then let's see, we will run the application. So go here. Yeah. So why it is showing here? Because yeah, we will run the application. This is the directly typing the API and seeing this. But through application, how can I see? So this is the application app module. I am using this one. So HTTP client module in the app module.ts. Here I am using the HTTP client module. So I am importing here and again I am writing in the imports part here. Then in app component, I am importing this one HTTP client, because if you will see here in app module we will import HTTP client module, in app component we will import HTTP client. So we will go there, in app component I am importing HTTP client. So both from same location, HTTP client module and HTTP client, same location. Then I am, this is a constructor and I am injecting HTTP client service. Okay, this is a service, inbuilt service in Angular for calling web API. So I am injecting. So this is the variable, this is the class, this is the object of this class. And again this HTTP I am using here, this dot HTTP client dot get URL, this one dot subscribe this. So this is the syntax. So if I am not writing URL here, I can directly copy paste it here. So I directly copied and pasted there. Yes. So this line of code I am writing, this much code. Okay, so here deliver alert. Okay, let's run it. Terminal, new terminal. Then ng serve open. I'll open the application. It will alert me the country where the name Ching belongs to. Okay, it is saying that 420 is already open. I'll just go there and I will type here. See, it is saying that Ching name is Ching, country is this, Taiwan, Hong Kong and Myanmar. These 3 countries belong to Ching. Okay, and if you will go here, suppose I will change it to Ramaswamy. So I will change to Ramaswamy. Then let's see what is happening here. Okay, we will go to that application. saying that Ramaswamy is not belongs to this database. So I will just go there and I will write here Kripa. Let's see. Yes, saying the Cree. Sorry, it is taking Cree first. So I will go there and again refresh it. Kripa does not belong to any country, so I will write here Krishna, Krishna. I'll save it. Then it will come out. And it's saying that Krishna belong to Nepal, NP Nepal, India, and MU means Mauritius. Nepal, India, Mauritius, this name belongs to. Okay. Then we will go for entering in the text box the name and see the country. Okay, so for now I will type here enter name. So I will enter a name, and then when I will click the button, so it will show the country. Okay, so in the app.component.html I have written this. Okay, these two lines. This line will take the input from the user, and this will click the button and show in a alert. So what we are doing, I have a input of type text. So I am writing here ng model is equal to nm. So that means nm is now become a variable, JavaScript variable, that will become the model, ng model, and that model I am using here. So whatever we will enter, it will be stored in this variable nm, because it is a ng model. Okay, whatever we are typing, it will store in ng model, nm. Okay, nm is the ng model. So nm, then again we can, while clicking, we can use that nm. Okay, this is the facility, because in JavaScript we were writing get element by id, which is more overhead. Now by writing just like this, we can use nm here. Okay, so again here we are, after click we will get show country. So show country is a JavaScript function. So I will write this in the what is the backend of this HTML file? This one, app.component.ts is the backend of this. So I will write here. So instead of on ng on init, I will write inside the function show country. So this line of code will be shifted to here, because on init we are not going to write in on init, means by default it should not be shown. Whenever we will click the button, it will be shown. Okay, and we will give some data inside the text box, and also we don't need the constructor anyway needed, because we are using the this.httpClient.get. Okay, so let's do one thing. We'll take the variable here, variable URL, suppose equal to, I will take this to there. Okay, here I will write the URL. Okay, now it will work. And but the problem is we should not hard code here Krishna, but it should come from the text box. So what I will do, I will remove this and I will write suppose name is coming here. I will write here like I am getting nm from there, so nm string. Okay, so I pass the variable here nm and I will add the nm here. Okay, so it will be dynamic now. Whatever we will pass, it will be added here, and that name will be shown. So this nm we can easily get, because we have mentioned that ng model is nm, so we can easily get here. Okay, so we can easily get there, and we'll see one thing. Let's run it. Okay. Okay, then go to the terminal, new terminal, and right here ng serve open -o. So after running this, we are getting this error. So it is saying that cannot bind ng model since it has not known property in input. So there is no nm property in the app component.ts file. So let's go to that ts file. So this is the app component ts. So I will mention this one. So previously it was not there. So I will do one thing. I will write here nm as string. Okay, and if you'll see, the error did not go. Still the error is there because we have to import forms module. See, this is not imported. So actually this line was not there, I added now. So what we will do, so whenever we are going for this type of thing, ng model, we are getting ng model or we are mentioning ng model in the input. So we have to add forms module. Okay, so where it will come? Forms module will come from Angular forms. Okay, so it is showing gray because we have not used the form module here. So if we take the mouse tip, it is saying that it is not used. Okay, it is declared but not used. So I will use here, giving a comma here, and I will paste it. Now forms module is used. So form module is necessary. Forms module is necessary whenever we are going for input type equal text, any type of HTML input, and whenever we are adding in any type of two-way binding or one-way binding, that time we are using forms module. Okay, see here we are importing forms module, and here also we are using forms module. So then what we have done, we have added forms module here. In the app component, we are mentioning the name of the, we are mentioning the property nm so that we can use it here. Okay, so nm will capture. So if you are declaring the variable or property nm, it will store the value whatever we are entering in the text box, and we have to mention that it is a ng model. It will act like a model, data model nm. Then same thing, whatever we are using, we will pass to the show country function here. It will go to show country function here. We can write anything here because it is a definition. Suppose I will write here underscore name. So then I will change it here, underscore name. Then there is no issue. So let's run this application. Okay. So I will write here. Suppose I will write here Govinda. So it's saying that Govinda belongs to India and Nepal. The name belongs to India and Nepal, NP Nepal. Suppose I will go for Muhammad. It's saying that it belongs to Iran, Jordan, and BD may be some country, I don't know exactly. Okay, suppose I will write here something like Peter. It is saying that it belongs to Australia, Kenya. SK means some other South country, South Africa or something country. We can see this or not issue. So now I will show the code. So we are passing this value name and we are getting the response. Okay. So if you like this video, then in the YouTube you can like this and subscribe my video so that you will get any update from my side. Any updated video, you will automatically get a prompt in your YouTube. Thanks.